Have you watched the TV series Chernobyl? I watched 3.5 out of 5 episodes, and then somehow it just got too much for me, which is a bit weird because I think the early episodes were heavier. But somewhere around 3.5 episodes in, I just put it on pause because I couldn't handle it anymore, and I never restarted it. So, alrighty then. Seems like actual chess is about to start, so I will be reading a lot more / almost no chats at all during games once again for for the purposes of not cheating mainly. Whoa. Okay, so we start with a fabulous misclick, giving pawn odds. Okay, without the g pawn in this position, what is better, d6 or d5? We kind of have to castle queenside. Yeah, this is a bit of a tricky one though. Castling queenside in these types of positions is not that easy to achieve, as you could probably imagine. Let's pretend this is a pawn on g6. That would be like good business practice here. Just pretend this is a pawn. This is now actually not an immediately lost position, somewhat surprisingly, because if he goes f4, this bishop on g5 might become a bit of a target. Like, stunningly, I might not be completely lost here, and I mean this is just so undeserved after playing g5 move 2, but like I have no business being in this game anymore, but there you go. Yeah, I mean obviously I'm still significantly worse, but actually I take that back. I'm not even worse anymore. I might be better. I didn't really like queen d3, queen e2. I think it was uncalled for. Yeah, this is quite a turnaround. I mean, I don't know if this is the best move in the position, knight f7, but I'm actually threatening both the knight on c3 and the bishop on g5. If he castles short, actually, yeah, I think knight f7 was probably a mistake because castling short is not that horrible. I mean, I'm better after he castles short, but I'm not winning as such. Shouldn't have allowed queen g4. Yeah, this I should have played something like queen b4 instead. Allowing queen g4 is like very, very stupid. And knight e2 is a very smart move there by Eric. There's no way I can allow knight f4 without actually snapping that knight off, so I'm gonna ask him to play. Actually, why am I putting that bishop on that diagonal? Should be somewhere more active. Steel theory. Not sure about that. Do I play e5 immediately or do I play c4 and then e5? I think I play e5 immediately. He probably wants... Huh. Yeah, let me do that. Once again, this is probably not ideal sequencing. I maybe should have included e4 instead. But I want to remind him that he has this pawn on e3, which requires constant... Hang on a second. This should not be good. Like ef, he still has rook to h8 takes h8 not to lose on the spot. I can take on h3 and then take on f4 and then go rook f8. But it appears that maybe he is not losing there either, which is upsetting. Because he can play king g2 here, and if I should have of course taken on. Yeah, this is once again me kind of tuning out a little bit. None of this is in any way well played by me. I had a very good position there for a change, and I managed to completely spoil it again. And this is the let's start playing faster part of the game, I think. I don't like fe5. I think he probably had to bite the bullet there and play f5, e4, queen e3 or something. And obviously we're not giving him a queen change here. Okay, so that was a truly abysmal game in parts. But such is life. Okay. Let's go full Jabava here. I don't know why. I also probably, I mean, there's always an argument to be made for actually looking at what your opponent plays. And had I known the Petrov was sort of on the menu, I would have probably not played 1e4. But I actually kind of considered doing some due diligence there, and kind of ended up just deciding against it. I don't know if c5 is necessarily required here, but I just kind of like the look of this move, and I want to start kind of doing something in this game. Probably I could have waited for some more time. I can just take on d4 twice, so I could include e5 and then maybe even knight d6 in some positions, which looks interesting, but it's also very committal because the knight on d6 is not that kind of stably placed, if that is a word I can use there. But I think placing his knight on d5 is advantageous for me because I don't want him to trade too many things along the t-file. At least he needs to work for it. I don't want to give him those options for free. Is it possible to switch off the board sound? Not in game, but am I blundering something if I play queen d2 here? I might be, because he goes c5, rook d6, b5, and I might be running out of squares. But I don't think I am. This, I thought, is kind of unpleasant for him. Okay, now it's just important not to blunder c5 in a very good setting for him. But I think this is still quite good. Yeah, okay, with the knight on d5, he can no longer play c6, c5, which is something I wanted to make sure of. And now we can start gaining ground on the other. Well, I saw this sort of from ways off, and then just completely forgot this existed. That is exactly the tactic I was kind of worried about way earlier. And then I just chose to pretend it didn't exist. It's kind of stupid. I should probably stop trying to look at chat while I'm playing. It's not doing me any favors here. Well, okay, yeah. Not blundering a rook on d4 is also kind of helpful. Yep. Let's try to wake up, maybe. or completely fall asleep or something. I don't know. G3 is probably the worst move I've made in any kind of a chess game in some time. Okay, so no gambits anymore. G5 hopefully will not be forthcoming in future. But yeah, the people saying "oh my god" in chat are correct. The standard so far has been less than stellar. Let's just castle into it. Now I should start paying attention to not losing to e4, e5 here. I don't think I am yet, but I mean, it's an actual concern. Less than stellar equals abysmal. Yeah, in this case, definitely does. Well, I mean, so far I blundered the rook in one move, and I made a very, very bad misclick in game one. So this is quite decent actually from him. I saw it, but I wasn't sure how strong it is. It is actually quite annoying. Knight h5, he probably goes bishop e3. We could go knight g4 and kind of aim to create sort of, no wait, knight g4 runs into h3. Let's just go knight h5. Bishop e3, we can play bishop g4, we can play bishop e6, we can try all kinds of nonsense. Bishop h6 also, of course, exists. It always exists in these positions, but I was kind of hoping to play bishop g4 and pretend I have a manageable situation here. Important not to blunder e takes d6 followed by queen d4 check, though. I will probably be taking on g7 with a knight in view of that. Just to make sure I don't blunder it. And I mean, even, yeah, I mean, the endgame might be playable for me, but I was wondering if I have something even better than the endgame, but I don't think I do, actually. I think I have to go for this. I do have some compensation for the pawn here. It's not a lost position. Obviously, I'm worse, but it's not absolutely horrible because I will have some active pieces. The rook will go towards some squares like h4 here. And important not to let his rook activate, of course. I mean, we need to pay attention to that. But this setup, we have things reasonably well under control. We're also like down half a minute, but that shouldn't be lethal just yet. Exchange before blunder. That's good advice. That's very solid advice, actually. And yeah, once he has to start going rook h1, my position just objectively is probably not even worse. Not better, but definitely not a problematic position for me. I kind of considered this, and I thought it might be somewhat smart to actually trade this way, because then I get a lot of play against the king side. I think I actually win some of this stuff back, like this, for instance. And I'm actually sort of ever so slightly better, although, like, obviously this should not be enough, but we're kind of prompting him to create some weaknesses, not really succeeding. Why did I touch my rook there? I have no idea. That really wasn't the intention. Okay, I'm getting beaten on time here, obviously. I keep on forgetting this is not an increment game. Yep. Should just resign, I guess. I'm never saving any of these. Yeah. What I should do is not let this, whoops, did not, should be white, I think, right? Getting some kinds of equal endgames with half a down and down half a minute is how we lose. So I should just generally speed up the early game. And one Petrov is enough. One Petrov is already too many Petrovs. I even looked at this at some point in my life, but that was a while ago. The point obviously here is that you don't want to give him a comfortable way of playing c6, c5. So you're fighting quite hard against him ever achieving c6, c5 in circumstances where he doesn't have to pay anything for it. And I'm not sure if I'm actually succeeding here. I might be, but it's not a given. AB, I think CB5 will be quite comfortable for him. So let's include bishop b3 for now. And just have a look. Okay. Yeah, we should both probably wake up a little bit. This is sort of on par with me playing g3. Yeah, I mean, after what I've done in the first couple of games, not resigning a full piece down is kind of, actually that's a rook, so. Not entirely sure what's happening here, but I mean, I do have 2 minutes. I don't think I'm losing this one on time. And we should do something about the London. Maybe this is what we should do about the London. Okay. Not that, the London actually refutes many things, but this is a bit of a kind of a disgusting pawn grab, but I mean, if it works, it works, and it's not below us to just win some material when people give us material, right? Hang on a second. He wants to play b4 next move. So maybe my pawn grab just isn't a pawn grab, which would be kind of defeating the purpose. Hang on a second. This is a strong move. I just very, very severely underestimated just how strong this is. What if I do this, though? Basically trying to stop him from playing b4, of course. This is the point. I don't want him playing b4. I think there was a draw on offer there. I could play like knight b7 before queen a3, but I think then knight b1, queen a4, knight c3 was a draw. And I didn't really want a draw just yet. Because let's play. Yeah, the score is 2-2. There is, I assume, no score on Twitch because I have all the videos paused, but the score is 2-2. I'm kind of trying to keep score in my head. And it should be on your screen somewhere, I assume. I mean, he can, of course, take on a6 and like castle long here. I will castle short, and the position will be extremely sharp, but once again, not you know, something I'm dead set against, having a very sharp position here. Yeah, this move exists, but I thought I could just do this. I mean, my pawn structure gets extremely broken up, but I do get a couple of bishops. Knight c6, bishop b7 is very good for me. I'm pretty sure he has to play bishop b5 here. And after bishop b5, he is probably perfectly fine, but so should I be. I'm very surprised by this choice. I am extremely surprised by this choice. I don't think this was obligatory at all for my opponent. I mean, he still gets a game. He's not like horribly behind here. But he not only did he give up the g2 pawn, he also gave this bishop on g7 so much freedom to roam. And yeah, I don't think this was correct. Yeah, once again, I'm kind of not being all there. I should maybe I should actually take with the bishop here. Create a stronger passer. I think this should be winning for me though. Let's make sure none of these guys win. Maybe it's not winning for me actually. Should be winning though. Yeah, I don't think he needed to play 4 in that position because that gave me enough time to um, to transpose into this pawn endgame. I wasn't that impressed with this opening either, so let's continue switching it up and see if maybe we'll end on something we actually like. Not sure about this one either. Okay. From the speed of play, this appears to be something he seems to think is strong. I'm not entirely like I've seen this before, but I don't quite understand why people are so happy about it. It doesn't seem to me like the greatest way of meeting this opening, but what do I know? This does make sense though. This particular sequence. Knight d4 is the most logical move, of course, but then he takes on d4, takes on g2, goes queen b7, check. Maybe I'm still slightly better there. Let's not make suboptimal decisions just because you want to play, a quote unquote more interesting position. That's not the way to play chess. Let's try and play sort of objectively strong moves and see where that leads us. We basically need to get rid of this knight and land something on d7, and then for him the challenge of smoking out this knight on c6 will become quite difficult. So that's like the immediate plan for the future couple of moves. This allows me to even go into a rook endgame after taking on e7 and taking on c5. That is a very weird move. I don't think that's correct. I'll stick with the original intention. I think this is just stronger because this knight on c6 is such a beast. Yeah, and this is kind of the point because he did it in such a way that the rook should be on a8 here to play rook a6, and he played rook a8. This is why I was so happy to just proceed with what I announced to be the plan, because the way he played it, he just gave me like significantly more time than I deserved in that position. I'm not sure about before, to be honest, but I think it might be quite strong. Maybe rook c8 was a mouse slip. No, I don't. I don't think so. I think he just made like a solid move on general grounds, because I think probably the best move in the position was bishop e7 f8, and it doesn't feel right to make a move sort of backwards in a position like this, but it was kind of important to keep the rook on a8, specifically to I will include a5 first to take on c7 only here, kind of try to sort of win the most in this position. And now we switch to giving mate along the 7th, because I don't think he's ever in time to attack the pawn on a5. Actually, rook c1 was just significantly stronger. That was a mistake. I blundered king e8. If he goes king e8 now, I cannot play rook d7 because of rook takes c6. And rook c1 was, or rook b1 was much stronger either. Yeah, okay, this never saves this position, of course, but, well, or at least shouldn't. We probably should not use language as strong as all that. Yeah, let's go f3. Let's lock everybody in and just proceed to march the king up to b5, and yeah, that has to be the plan. Yeah, that's kind of sensible, but it doesn't change anything. Our plan remains resolute, get the pawn to a7 and then figure something out, basically. Okay, that was actually a reasonably well played game, at least in parts. So I seem to have cut out, at least some of the technical crap that was sort of infesting my early games here. I have no idea what I'm trying to achieve with this move order, but as always, when I'm facing the London, I kind of just start clicking buttons and hope that my button clicking results in a position I can play. I understand this is sort of not the prescribed way of, dealing with a perfectly reasonable opening, but what to do? Does anyone know the score? I'm 4-2 up currently, I think. He should probably play queen b3, and then we get this endgame, which is just, very, very level. Because I think, like, if he doesn't do anything at all about this structure, I understand that he is sort of trailing in the match, and this might be influencing his decisions, but as we sort of know from the exchange Slavs over the years, is that I should probably have played knight d7 first, but I have no idea what he is doing there. Where is this knight going? Is he trying to mate me somehow? It's going to be extremely difficult in an exchange Slav type structure to give mate on the king side. But what I was trying to say is that this is, good players have beaten bad players, and I don't mean this game. This has sort of, what I'm saying is kind of general rule of thumb stuff, not in relation to this game at all. Basically, the way you lose with white in exchange Slav type positions is you allow some kind of an endgame like this. I actually thought knight c4, knight a4 was winning a pawn here, which is why I was so happy about entering this, and now I realize my mistake, and I'm very upset with myself. I'm still better, but that was actually rather a large misplay by me. I can go a5, a4, but it's kind of slow. Yeah, let's do what I actually plan to do here. But yeah, the point is, if you get this structure and white trades the light squared bishops, and then black kind of declines to trade the dark squared bishops, you end up with some kind of an endgame like this, which very often will be quite significantly unpleasant for white. That's a good move I missed, actually. I think that's a very good decision by Eric here. I'm not so sure about bishop b8, though. I don't know why he is forcing me to make the move a7, a6, which I kind of wanted to make anyway. But knight e1 is something I definitely missed, and that changes my evaluation of the position. And in general, I think I played it a bit lazily somewhere around where he offered the queen trade, because I am actually, no kidding, quite significantly better there, I'm pretty sure. And there was absolutely no call for me to not spend some time searching for the most precise way of creating issues for my opponent. I'm still a little bit better here, but clearly not very much. If he goes knight c5, I think I can take. If he goes bishop a7, I think we probably ask him to clarify what he means. Yeah, now the big question is whether we can actually, okay, we need to start speeding up. I mean, if he decides to flag me here, I will respect it, but that was just a practical decision taken by me. I'm not sure if I'm much better anymore, and also on 30 seconds against 45, I wasn't really fancying my chances of converting a very small technical edge there into a full point. Okay, so nothing I did so far looked particularly smart opening-wise. Let's try playing like my normal first move and then just not allow the Petrov without playing the stupid d3 bishop e2. Once again, I'm slightly confused by what I'm doing, but I'm pretending that I don't need to stop and think here, which I clearly have to. For instance, now I think after f takes e4, I'm in a lot of trouble. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if it was necessary to just be like much worse out of the opening here. Probably not. Bishop takes h3 is just incredibly strong here. Yeah, that was like very stupid. Position remains somewhat playable, but not really. And I mean, all of this is kind of well known. It's not like the whole idea of black playing for this plan has been unknown to me. I actually had games like this as a kid with the black pieces. And yeah, allowing it is like very unnecessary. So this is what we're reduced to here. We're trying to make him, convey the tastiest piece on the board is this rook on e2, which he's not buying, and I think he's correct in not buying that idea. But I think we have to continue to insist. The correct procedure for him here, of course, is to take on f5 with everything, and then just win this endgame. It should still require some work to, I mean, as all the opposite color bishop endgames, you're not, like, you will be obliged to think at some point. Which is yeah, and now basically, the fight begins for kind of never allowing this bishop to get to c5, which is probably slightly too optimistic for me to hope for. but sort of this is what we're reduced to. I mean, I can go rook a2 or I can go f4 and pretend I have counterplay. I think I go rook a2. Yeah, well, obviously we don't allow a5, a4. Now he can play bishop c5, but then he's kind of stuck, which is, yeah, okay, let's not blunder. I mean, blundering the rook on a1 there. Hang on just a second. Yeah, once again, I'm being like conclusively outplayed in the openings, which is not something that I expect to be happening a lot in this match, but wandered bishop d4, which is very stupid. And now the b pawn is lost. Yeah, this should never have happened. This is just okay. I don't know why he didn't take. Could have just taken instead. Now I'm kind of winning once again. Should be quite an easy technical conversion, actually. Yeah, none of this is, smooth attained, but we seem to be getting there somehow. I will have to apologize profusely to Eric once I get to St. Louis, because this is well and truly embarrassing. Okay. Yeah, this makes a ton of sense, obviously. Probably being kind of mainline London theory, which is, as well established in this stream, is something I do not know. And do not to start learning, which is also, I think, quite obvious by this point. Yeah, we might be getting getting mated in this game. Queen c2 or queen b1 is just extremely unpleasant. E4 is a good move on general grounds, but I think, making my bishop on c8 into a not very dead piece compared to how dead it was prior to that, I don't think that was very good. Now we play rook f7, knight f8, and we have kind of stabilized. And now we need to start kind of deciding which pieces we trade here. I think we try to trade these pieces. I mean, the position remains kind of roughly equal, I think, because of the fact that I played f6, which is kind of not an adornment to my position. You can play bishop c4 here, which is something I missed. or bishop e4, but bishop c4 kind of worried me slightly more for some reason. Okay, I blundered one more exchange. Yeah, I mean, it's the bishop on g3 was kind of traded off in my head, and okay, this is actually kind of an improvement compared to the position I could have gotten after bishop takes c7. I really should tune back in. This is horrific. Yeah, because this position kind of stunningly is not bad for me at all. Like bishop c7 was sort of winning on the spot there. Obviously, you should not be leaving pieces on pre's as much as I have in this game. He should play rook f1, and then my most logical reply probably is to, I mean, king f7 makes some sense. I can immediately win back the a pawn at the cost of king all the way from g1 to d3, which I kind of dislike. I think piece activity and keeping his king boxed in is more valuable to me here. Yeah, now it's not an exchange. Now it's just a pawn. And also, kind of importantly, he has these two really horrible light pieces on g3 and f3, which have no moves. I'm actually, I think, legitimately playing for a win here. The knight comes over to, the fantastic d5 square, and despite being a pawn down, I think only black can be better, just because of how extremely poor those two light pieces are. I'm obviously never allowing d4, d5 if I could help it, because that would make his pieces kind of come back to life. Bishop b8, we can play both a6 and a5. I think a5 is more sensible, because I want to take on b3 and then play b5, a4, and just to create a passer as soon as possible kind of makes a ton of sense there. What he's doing is quite sensible, it's just I don't think it's fast enough. And now I just win. Yeah, because that pawn queens. That is a full queen we have on the board, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, game continues, so let's try and pay attention. Okay. Yeah, that was a horribly played game in the opening, and then it featured a one-move blunder, which would have gotten me kicked out of the Pioneer's Palace. But apart from that, perfectly played game. Yeah, and sorry, I've been completely ignoring the Twitch chat. Hey, hi to everybody who tuned into my biannual stream, and it's not even like a proper PLBRTA stream, because it's actual chess and not variety gaming as it normally is. Let's try not to allow this anymore. How do we not allow this? Probably by being slightly smart, yeah? And playing h3. I'm not sure about this queen c7 move, though. I think you're supposed to play d6, d5 immediately in that position. That leads to all kinds of reasonably well-developed theory. But these types of positions, I think, have been somewhat conclusively evaluated to be at least a little bit better for white. Actually, why did I not play bishop g5 here is beyond me. Like, I'm autopiloting once again, and in part it is because I understand that, losing on time is a very large part of how I lost a couple of games that I lost. Also blundering a rook in one move, but also, yeah, just like start paying attention, man. Like I could have done this on a previous move. HS Battlegrounds when? I was actually, I seriously considered making today's stream some kind of a variety stream, but I wanted to stream. I have one last Runeterra expeditions run left on my account, and I wanted to stream that. But then basically I took a good look around and I realized just how horrible everything seems to be, and I kind of bailed out on this idea. But yeah, that was the idea. The original idea for today was to kind of warm up for the stream by streaming Runeterra. I kind of slightly stopped talking about the game there for a second because we are very much in control once we reestablished that we can play Bishop G5 in that position, which we could have done instantly, but decided not to because we're an idiot. But we are no longer an idiot. And therefore the game is going quite well. Is Runeterra fun? Yeah, I think Runeterra is great, and also I think the new mode is. I think Expeditions is tremendous fun, and until they create a ranked mode, people will be trying to play as much of that as possible. All right, so we're at 7.5 points, so we need one more point here to get there home and dry. Let's try not to blunder any rooks. And I don't know, like I keep on getting these really, really horrible positions against the London. And the one position I semi-enjoyed of all the things I played against 24 today was the Dutch. So let's return to the Dutch. I've kind of adjusted my play there a little bit to make sure I get the 75 in, because I can go back to C7 here. And then we play a game. Now I kind of need to pay very big attention to not blundering C4, C5, though. I'm not sure what I did here was actually very smart. I thought I was improving on the previous Dutch game that we played, but now that I look at this position, and I think my previous approach was actually healthier, which is a sad state of affairs. Trying to figure out if I lose if I play knight h5. I don't think I lose. And if I don't lose, maybe I should do that. Yeah, bishop h4 is, of course, perfectly natural. My idea was to play knight f6 here and to keep this somewhat artificial construction going for a while, because I was very annoyed with this bishop on g3. It was creating a ton of issues for my position. And now we have this little bit of an impasse where I have a really stupid knight on h5, but it's doing a semi-decent job of controlling his bishop on h4. And after c5, my intention was always to reply with e4, and then either we take on d6 with the bishop, of course, or we play d6, d5. And we've established, once again, we shouldn't be doing, great here, but we're not doing horribly. We've kind of stabilized. We did not get our center demolished by any tactics. And yeah, I'm not sure about that. There is actually some sense to this because my bishops are very locked in. Actually, I kind of like this, which is why I will try to actually fight against the strategic idea that he is showing by playing f4. I don't want for the position to get completely locked down. I would have actually preserved the bishop on g3. I don't know why he is in such a hurry to trade it off. I think that bishop, if he takes on f4 with the pawn instead of the bishop, I think there is really no advantage for me to having a knight on f4. Well, I do commentary on chess24 for the candidates. It's not impossible, Evans Gambit, but there are some things up in the air regarding that. I'm very much hoping to do Vike together with Jan as usual. So that kind of that was the next thing I was planning to do on chess24. The thing with his position here, I probably should have played bishop h6 actually earlier on. It looks quite nice on g7, but I think it does more work on h6. For instance, preventing him from castling, which is quite annoying for him here, obviously. Yeah, let's just continue developing for now. I don't think we need to rush into things, because it's just so difficult for him to move here. And now we can probably start asking him for concessions. Yeah, maybe he'll be getting hard as someone second in the candidates. I don't know if this is tongue-in-cheek or not. Yeah, I blundered g3, but my position should still be. And Eric, I think he's probably feeling a bit dispirited because I honestly, I cannot claim I outplayed him as such in this match, but I always appear to be the last. I mean, he appears to be the last one to blunder things. I think I played quite poorly, but sort of final count, I just blundered less. And that will be like the telling difference. And that probably, if we're not mistaken with what we see on our screens, that is the end of the match. Once again, I feel like Eric deserved, to play against me playing better than I played. It looked at times as if I wasn't, all there, and I'm not very happy with how I performed, and I assume this standard will not get me very far in this competition, frankly. But on the day, yeah, I think Eric just very often made the last mistake in games which were full of them. So yeah, that is it. That is it. Thanks for Eric for being a good sport and for waiting until stuff was fixed on my machine. And I hope I see him in St. Louis when I get there, so that I can buy him a beer. Because that was, in parts, that was just very, very ugly. Alrighty then. I don't know what the protocol here is. I'll ask the admins if we need to do anything else. And if not, I don't think there will be a variety stream today. I just don't feel up to it, frankly. But I might, I will be in St. Louis for 3 weeks, working an extremely strange schedule. In particular, I think our streams for the Indian part of the GCT will start at something like 1 a.m. So I might be completely zombified for the rest of the day, and that has in the past led to me trying to do something with my time, which includes streaming. We'll see how that goes. Winner needs to stream 2 hours of banter, says Safed Fathi. No. Pretty sure that's not that's not it. Yeah, people screaming for battlegrounds. I don't even have that set up. And if I attempt to set up anything on the fly right now, it will not come out well. But I will try at some point. I kind of miss streaming, and it's always been on my mind that I need to return to streaming in some form. We don't appear to be getting any input on what we're supposed to do next. So I think on this note, I will just say thank you to everybody who came out to watch. And there will be more of this because I did qualify for the next round, and I enjoyed the process. It's just that I think I played quite horribly. So yeah, thanks for being here, and I think I'll just push the end stream button here and return to watching Boar build menagerie decks. Cheers, everybody, and yeah, I'll see you when I see you.